Welcome to a celebration at the precipice of time, where the power of women knows no bounds. Experience her story unfolding, a reawakening of our collective consciousness to the monumental achievements of our foremothers, a tribute to the battles they fought, rights they've secured, and paths they've paved that women all over the world are continuing to navigate and expand upon. Her stories are unfolding, empowering growing, building legacies of pioneering women by sharing their stories, celebrating their accomplishments, and embracing the rights and privileges they've bestowed to us for generations to come.
Welcome, everybody, to the National Women's History Month of the Los Angeles Tribune. We are thrilled. We are excited to be sharing this moment with you. This is the first of 31 days that we are celebrating Women's History Month. And today we have such a treat for you. We have the women of the Los Angeles Tribune, starting with our business strategist, the director of our Business Solutions Division. I'm going to bring up Alicia Magnus Lewis. Hi, Alicia.
Hi, Ava. How are you? And hello to everyone that is joining us for Her Story Unfolding. We are delighted to have you all here with us. We're delighted to have all of the women of the Los Angeles Tribune here today with us. And it's really about highlighting stories of women, the women that have created so much for us in our path, and honoring all of the work of women that are pioneering in spaces in their homes, in their communities, and in industries beyond. So thank you so much. Thank you, Ava. And we are delighted to bring our guests on today.
And starting with, we are blessed in the Los Angeles Tribune to be surrounded by powerful, impactful, loving women. And we're bringing them on stage, starting with, I'm going to bring Donna Campbell. And of course, we're going to be introducing all of them. We'll bring up, we'll call their names as we've killed them. And so we've got Dagmar Fleming. Donna, who else are you bringing?
Well, we have Sherry Gideon's coming with us and Misty Kerrigan. We have such a huge lineup. We even have more. So are you ready for the rest?
Yes.
All right. So we have Sandy Scarlatta,
bring them on
Lori
stage,
McNeil, and Parissa Rose with us. So look at this amazing panel.
Amazing.
It's a party. It's a party. We're going to redefine
It is a party. I kept saying, the guys say it's a panel. I'm like, with the women, it's a party.
We're going to have a party.
Yep. So let's just go around, because we are women. We talk, we speak. Nobody can shut us up. Just speak up and just introduce yourself. No one's going to call you. Let's make it that, so go ahead and speak up. We're that. So we'd love to know what you do, what excites you. And so we're going to start with what you do, what excites you, and what are you looking forward this month of March during the Women's History Month? Let's go.
I'm Sandy Scarlatta. I'll start because I'm a podcaster and you can't shut me up, which is why I love podcasting. I'm the managing director for the Los Angeles Tribune Global Podcast Network. And I'm just so excited for this family that I am so grateful to be a part of with the Los Angeles Tribune. I'm also have partnered with the Los Angeles Tribune Publishing House to put out a series of books, Happiness Solved, in various different industries. So I'm so excited about that. Thank you.
Yay. Okay, who's next?
Everybody is so shy. So you guys all know me. I'm Donna Campbell. I'm known as a mind whisperer for reprogramming your subconscious brain to get you instantaneous results. But what I'm really looking forward to for the month of March is that not only is it Women's History Month, but some of the women in history were amazing authors. So I don't have just one, but I have two books coming out this March. Yeah. One is launching right now, one towards the end of the month, called The Abundant Soul. So I'm super excited for that.
Woo.
That is exciting.
All right, Lori, I'm going to pass the baton over to you.
Yeah. So I'm Lori McNeil, and I'm an international business strategist that specializes in media, branding, and marketing. And I am also a legacy builder, or Ava likes to call me the Queen of Legacy, Miss Legacy. So I'm super excited because I have an anthology that I am publishing with legacy builders from all over the world that's coming out the end of March. So that is a super, super exciting project. And I love helping entrepreneurs get from wherever they are to where they want to be. And that definitely excites me every single day. But I also love playing Battleship, and I've played 857 games and never lost.
Wow.
That's
That
cool.
is a record.
That is
That
a
is a
feat.
record. Okay, Lori, who do you pass the baton to? I love Donna's style, passing the baton.
Yes, good job, Donna. That was an awesome way to
Passing the
start
crown.
show. I am going to pass it to Parisa.
What's up, everyone? Happy March, first of all. And second of all, I want to say hi to, excuse me, all the people listening live on Clubhouse. Just plugged everyone in on Clubhouse. So if you're on Clubhouse listening, hi.
Hello, Clubhouse.
Oh, they are sending hearts right now, which is so awesome. This is so cool, having so many platforms at one time. This is really cool. Anyway, what I'm excited for March is this opportunity to be really intentional and really focus on helping women really come together and ignite this like fiery spirit that we already have within us. But sometimes we just need to be reminded that we have it, and to be reminded that we have the permission to just step into the dang thing. And I can tell you that like I've needed the reminder, I've needed to step into that permission stance. And you know what, whatever I'm needing or what we are individually needing, we often know that other women are needing it too. So that's definitely what I'm excited for March. And I love a great dad joke. So if you guys have any good dad jokes, throw them in the chat, because I love to hear some.
So good. Well, you skipped the part, Parisa, of really telling people what you do. You know, Parisa Historica, I always love to brag about this. She's an 8-time All-American champion, a coach to a team that led, 7 All-American championships in one season. And she's an amazing coach, transformational coach. What else did I miss, Parisa?
Well, you did a great job, Ava, and thank you. And currently, right now, I'm really getting to focus on what I will say injecting integrity into the tech space. I'm working on a really fun, awesome project that is just about to launch. We're literally hours away from launching. And the tech world is a very daunting world for those that are not in it. It's not where I come from. But I think it also really do well to have some integrity injected into that space. And so that's kind of what I do right now.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing, Parisa. And thank you for, Parisa is a Clubhouse queen. And yes, Clubhouse still exists. She's a Clubhouse queen. She's an icon. Like literally her face was an icon in Clubhouse. So it was the Clubhouse icon in your phones for several months. So, and she's also an official partner, and partner and endorser of Clubhouse, right? Okay, we've got our CEO Mo Rock on the comments, really singing in the shower.
Oh, good, that's good.
Okay, there's your dad joke. There's your dad joke right there.
Thank you, Mo.
Who do you pass the baton to, Parisa?
Let's see. Has Dagmar gone yet?
No, I haven't. Thank you, Parisa.
Wow.
I'm Dagmar Fleming, and I am founder of Unlock Your Success, which is a mentorship program for entrepreneurs who want to accelerate their growth, increase their income, but most importantly, fulfill their life purpose. But what gets me super excited is my other project, and that is the Athena Circle, because it's a community for women entrepreneurs who want a holistic growth and a holistic approach to success that includes professional, personal, and spiritual growth. So in March, with March 8th being the International Women's Day, we are certainly celebrating ourselves. We're celebrating what makes us strong, powerful, and determined to live the life of our own dreams and to leave their legacy behind. So happy early Women's Day to all of us.
So good.
And I'm going to pass it to Misty.
Yay! Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Misty Kerrigan. I am a business psychologist. I spent 23 years in mental health, helping shape and form at-risk youth, foster youth, and families, and thought, since I'm obsessed with behavior and behavior modification, would some of these same theories still work with businesses? And it turns out it works beautifully, because at the end of the day, we're all just humans and all have the same needs. And so I absolutely love working with business owners or in corporations, or right now I work in California throughout all the states, just getting in and creating curriculum and doing some trainings. So what I'm excited for March is, I truly believe inspired people inspire people. Inspired people inspire people. So if we're going strong for 31 days to keep inspired and honoring women, I think that that's going to cause a huge wave and keep on going past March.
Yep.
I love that. Who else gets to get a baton?
Yes. Miss Sherry.
One of my favorite people in the
Sherry.
world, who looks gorgeous today. Sherry, get in.
Hello, everyone. I am Sherry Gideons. I'm a life alignment and habit strategist. I help people to impact through influence and their income. And at the end of the day, it's all about daring to be yourself. I'm getting to be that age where I love to play full out. And I do that making fun, silly sounds and, creating anchors that really continually lift me into that higher alignment of the true me. And that's what I help people to do. I help people to anchor in the truth of who they are in their self-mastery, in their areas of family, fitness, finances, fun, faith. And at the end of the day, isn't that what it's about? It's about learning to be in the present moment and having fun doing it. And of course, I'm also a professional athlete. I'm a retired pro bodybuilder. I spent 30 years in the professional bodybuilding and fitness industry from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. And I am the podcast host of High Vibe Nation. Raise
I
that
felt
vibe,
that coming
everyone.
across the line. I felt that. So good. I believe we still got Donna, right?
Say that again.
We still have you introducing yourself. Oh, you did the second time.
Oh, I
You
did.
the-
I was
you did the
first.
second.
Yes.
I know. I guess I just wanted to hear more of you. I know that Alicia and I, we are with the Los Angeles Tribune, and we'll have a lot of time to introduce ourselves on the next, 30 more days that we're here. So really, what we're about, is we're here for you. We're not really here to promote ourselves or, talk about ourselves, but we want to inspire women out there in the power that we possess that flows through our veins, from our foremothers who have won history for us. So next, ladies, I would love to hear, who's an inspirational woman that has impacted you? And because of that impact, how are you paying that forward and impacting others today? So let me start with the last person who said that, who spoke, Sherry. Let's hear from you, Sherry.
Yeah, so Oprah Winfrey has been a major influence, not only on my own life, but I believe globally on so many women's lives and men's lives as well. And dating back to the 90s, I had a near-death experience that really had to do with being the true me. And that's been the journey of Oprah Winfrey. She has continually talked about how she walked into the media and how, at first she was trying to be like everybody else. And she's taught all of us to dare to be ourselves. I had the fortune of meeting her and toasting the new year with her in 2011. Something she said was pivotal. She said she learned on her journey that she wasn't here to convince people of their truth, that she was here to be a messenger to be spoken through, and that she continued to move forward on her journey being the seed planter, planting the seeds in others and allowing them to come into their own time and space to remember the promise within them. And that's what my journey's been about. And I'm just so grateful that I attracted her in my life and that she's been an influence to so many of us as women and men globally.
Absolutely. You know, it's powerful because a lot of us women have been impacted by Oprah Winfrey. You know, we had a chat, you know, women, and I'm like, okay, someone else has got to choose somebody else. You know, so definitely the impact that Oprah had on everybody has been like really significant. Sherry, who would you want to hear from next?
I want to hear from Sandy.
Well, in the chat we were having earlier, I mentioned Louise Hay, and I keep this book on my desk. You Can Heal Your Life. You can see I've got it tabbed. I have it on my phone, on my Kindle. And she didn't so much inspire me professionally, although the work that I've done by reading her book has just helped me to become the best version of myself. And that's what we all want, because if we can show up every day as the best version of ourselves, then anything that we accomplish is going to shine through that. But I just really believe in the whole mind, body, spirit connection. And every time, it all started because I used to get sinus infections. They're allergy-induced sinus infections. And every time I would tell my best friend, she'd be like, what did Mark do? My ex-husband. And the funny thing is like sinus infections, according to this book and this theory, is that you're irritated with somebody. And so I would just laugh, because now it's like when I start getting irritated, I'm like, okay, let's work on this now, because we don't want it to go there, because our thoughts really do have an impact on so much of our health, how we show up, and just how we can even manifest everything in our life. So. And let's see, I would love to hear from Misty.
Thank you. So a few months ago, I didn't know this woman existed, and now I can't get her out of my mind. But there's a sweet movie called Naiad, and it's about Diana Naiad, a swimmer who attempted in her 20s to go from Cuba to Florida, and it failed. But she had all these world records. She did amazing, and she retired. You know, by 30, she had a great life. But at age 64, she had an epiphany that it wasn't my body, it was my mindset. At age 64, she said, I'm going to break that record that still to that day had not been broken. And at age 64 was like, no, watch me. And attempted 5 times to swim from Cuba to Florida. First human person ever. And did it. At age 64, she went back and accomplished something that she couldn't do in her 20s, all because of mindset. So I love, a lot of us do teach about mindset and vibration. But I love when someone utilizes it to break all sorts of barriers, especially as I get older, in my 40s now, where I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't think, you know, like maybe if I was younger, but I started studying, and most millionaires don't even happen to 50s, 60s, and even 70s. So when I think brave individuals defy age and just follow passion, heart, and goals, they're unstoppable. And Naiad has really, that movie has really kind of reignited something in me I forgot was there.
That's powerful, Misty. Who would you like to hear from next?
Well, you know, if I'm on the topic of world championships and swimmers and amazing women who go boldly break records and who still hold some to today, I would love to call on Miss Priscilla Rose.
Thank you, Misty. And yes, Diana Naiad, she's insane. She's amazing. And I grew up really being able to follow along, just follow her journey, really, and see a woman that was older than me and willing to think way outside the box. And if you think literally in the sense of a pool and a swimmer, you are swimming inside a box your whole career. So the fact that she had these like bold, audacious desires and goals to just go after it in a very much outside of the box thinking, I always appreciated that. So I love that you brought her up. But the woman I'd like to bring up is Corrie ten Boom. She's one role that she had in life was that she was a Dutch watchmaker. She was actually the first woman watchmaker in the Netherlands. And what most know her for, though, is that she was kind of like she spearheaded, her and her family spearheaded the Dutch resistance during World War II. And the thing that just wows me about her is that she had this desire to live a life of service and live a life of really giving back to her community in all ways that looked like. So she did that. And then when it came down to really needing to help the Jews, when everything was completely at an uproar and people were needing food, people were needing shelter, people were needing the basic needs to be met, she had a community she could call upon. She had a network that she already had been working within and built. People had gained her trust. She had trusted them. She knew who she could go to because of this community that she'd already built based on a desire that she had, which was to be to have a life of service. And the fact that she was able to help so many people from a life that she had already been living in this really catastrophic time, that to me has been everything. I remember reading her book, The Hiding Place, when I was really young. And it's a book that I've continued to revisit. And the way she persevered and her grit and her resilience, but with a lot of grace and a lot of ingenuity and a lot of innovation, has always stuck with me. So Corrie ten Boom, if you don't know her, haven't heard of her, check her out. Her book, The Hiding Place, truly profound.
Definitely going to read that. Thank you for.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I would like to pass it to Lori, the other woman in pink.
So I'm already noticing so many threads and themes already, and none of us really knew exactly who we were going to choose or exactly why we were choosing certain people. But as I'm listening to each one of us, I'm realizing that there's certain threads in the authenticity, in the tenacity, in the overall leadership of each one of these people. And the person that, and there's so many of that each one of us can name like that. There's so many amazing women around the world, past, present. And I think that one of the women in my life that I've listened to on the radio, had the pleasure of watching on stage, that influenced me in ways I didn't even know when I first saw her, is Beth Moore. And the reason why, from the very first time I ever heard her in a stadium with tens of thousands of people, I grew up where you had to be a certain way and you had to be almost robotic and rigid, and everything was either like a success or a failure, and there was nothing in between. And I remember the first time that I saw Beth on stage, I was shocked at how completely authentic she was. And I thought, wow, this is a woman that not only speaks from her heart, has servant leadership, but complete authenticity and completely owns who she is in a very vulnerable way. She told a story about how that day prior to getting up on stage, and as she was prepping in her dressing room and all these things behind the stage, she couldn't find her comb, she couldn't find a brush, she couldn't find any of her personal, personal items in order to get ready. So she was trying to, hurry and eat a salad, she said. And she had this thought that she would use her fork to comb her hair. And I remember listening to this story on stage in front of tens of thousands of people thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe that she just told that story. That would be almost like one of these secret stories that you don't want anybody to know that is going on, these things behind the scenes, right? And I realized in that moment how much respect that I had for someone that was that authentic and that honest and that real and stood in their value and was comfortable in their skin enough to just be completely vulnerable to a huge audience in real time, because it had just happened when she walked on stage. And that story, and then since, the different experiences that I've had with Beth over the years have really helped me to shape not only the leader that I am, but helps me when I'm guiding other people toward understanding integrity and authenticity and what that means to just be yourself on stage or with people or in your leadership, and don't get so caught up in what you're quote unquote supposed to be and what that looks like. And I've never forgotten that experience in that huge auditorium years ago. And it's really that simple little story has actually had a huge impact on me. And then to watch how she impacts people through complete authenticity and through some complete heart-centered love and service to people all over the world. And she too has an amazing story of abuse and perseverance and guilt and shame, and all really pushed through and owned it all and moved forward in a way that she is used as that tool to impact the world. And she's just been a fascinating person to watch over the years, and then to make the connections with how I have been inspired and impacted, because of her and her leadership and who she is and how she just shows up in the world. And it's made me a better leader, and continuing that ripple effect. When we talk about past, present, and future, I feel like she has impacted me and the ripple effect that I'm creating, for future generations in that way for authenticity. So Beth Moore, if you're not familiar with her, dig deep into her story, because it's pretty inspiring.
Thank you for sharing
That's
that, Lori.
remarkable. Thank you so much for sharing, Lori. And talk about the creativity too. Like, yes, it does take a level of authenticity to be on stage and talk about using a comb with your hair. That's pretty genius, though. That's very, very creative. Testament at how much she is able to think on her toes and work with what she has and make it work. Sometimes you just have to look at what's around you and figure out how to make it work. So thank you so much. And encourage everyone to look up Beth and her story. Dagmar, would love to hear from you about who has inspired you.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Alicia. Well, for someone who creates breakthroughs and quantum shifts for my clients, naturally, my attention is always drawn to women in science. And being Polish myself, I am very impressed by Maria Skłodowska-Curie, who was the first woman ever to win a Nobel Prize, the first person to win twice, and the first person to win in two categories, physics and chemistry. And if you think that's not enough, she was also the first professor at the University of Paris in the early 1900s. Now, what's so remarkable about her is that she did it at the time when men believed that women should delegate themselves to household duties and wife responsibilities. So she had a lot of ceilings that she had to break through. But to me, she truly stood in that authenticity and integrity, as Lori alluded to, and many of you earlier. And naturally, being the founder of the Athena Circle, that core belief in shining your own light, in standing in your own truth, goes back to the Greek goddess Athena, which we have as our namesake. And what I love about Athena and what she represents is that she is not afraid to shake her spear at people's ignorance and say, wake up. Stop expectations of other people and step into the core essence of who you are. Let your life be expression of who you want to be, not what other people expect of you. And when you truly follow the essence of you, you have everything within you to accomplish your dreams. Just as Marie Skłodowska-Curie proved to us, and so many beautiful leaders, female leaders that you're all talking about. So I've got these two women as my beautiful inspirations, and I'm sticking to it. And by the way, hello to my mom, because she is an Athena too. Love you, Mom.
I love that. I love that.
And I'm going to pass it to, did we hear from Sandy? We did. And Parisa. Sherry. Oh my goodness. Is there anyone who hasn't? Ava.
Donna.
So, what
let's hear from Donna. Yeah.
What I find truly amazing is that women throughout time and women throughout history have always found a voice, even if it wasn't the verbal voice. Now, one of the things that I truly appreciate with the Los Angeles Tribune is we have the special thought leader editions, and this one here was dedicated to all women in this particular magazine or newspaper. And one of the people that I wrote about in there was Maya Angelou. And Maya Angelou was mute for several years by choice. She could speak, but she chose not to. And then one day she decided to speak again. But one of the quotes that she said that really resonated with me was, people will forget what you said, and people will forget what you did, but they will never forget with how you made them feel. And after being mute for so many years, she really developed that sense of feeling to how people would feel. Now, that aside, the other person, I have two, we're going to break the rules here a little bit, is Helen Keller, because she found a way to communicate. Now, she was deaf and she was blind, but yet her voice is loud throughout history. And what she said, one of her famous quotes, it's going to sound similar, said, "The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or cannot even be touched, but must be felt with the heart." And I think with these two amazing women, with how you feel, feeling with the heart, really shows us throughout history and in this month our role and how powerful we can truly be as women, allowing that sense of feeling to come through in that way. Because you don't have to have a voice, you don't have to speak loud, but your silence can speak volumes based on how people feel when they're with you.
That is powerful.
Beautiful.
Mic drop.
Thank you, Donna.
Definitely how you make people feel. Would love to hear Donna. Would you like to pass it on to Alicia?
Yes, absolutely, Miss Alicia.
Donna, I love that you led with Maya Angelou. She is someone that her work, her spirit is near and dear to my heart. I read I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings when I was young. And it's really a story about her life and her experiences. And Maya went through so much, especially as a young girl. But she had that spirit of resilience, humility, and joy. And she, talked about her experiences being a woman, a young Black woman growing up in the racist South, and what those experiences were like. And even growing up for me, I found so much pride in her story that gave me pride in my life and in my story so young. And so I love that you shared her quote about, it's about how you make people feel. I think sometimes it can be easy for people to skip over someone's feelings, right, and just get to the point. But it's really important to be aware about how you're making someone feel. Like a smile can go such a long way with a stranger that you may not even know. Just asking someone how they're doing and actually paying attention to what it is that they say back can really make a difference in their life. And she was great with words as well. So
Alicia, your internet's going in and out. So, but we heard exactly, many of what Alicia said, and I love that Donna started with Helen Keller, and with Maya Angelou, and Alicia reinforced that because I am mine is Anne Sullivan, and Anne Sullivan is the teacher of Helen Keller. She's the woman who taught Helen Keller from 7 years old. She herself had many, many painful eye infections, multiple surgeries, to a point she's nearly blind. She had a very, very tough childhood, and yet the impact that she's created in the world through the works of Helen Keller has been amazing. It's a name that's not, usually known. And this goes to say, as we inspire everybody on the very beginning of National Women's Month, that there are women out there who are doing great things behind other women, behind other men. And actually, I would open this up as an invitation. The spirit of the Los Angeles Tribune during the Women's Month is that we recognize women. It wasn't just back then that women aren't being recognized, it still stands today. In corporate, in the corporate world, in education, in business, women are still not being recognized today. And at the Los Angeles Tribune, we stand by recognizing goodness, the good in the world. My inspiration behind recognition was my mentor. I had a mentor who passed away during the very beginning of COVID. His name is Charlie Duncan, and he entered the military at 17 years old, and served through that time that he was battling cancer at 88. Served in many ways, not just in army, but also went into pharmacy, went really gave a lot of money to the national ski team, brought them into different places, funded a lot of their expenses, served in the Lions Club. He did a lot of good. And then when he was battling cancer at the age of 88, he told me, "Do you know, Ava, that I have never been featured in media? Like, I have never been recognized, by any media organization in all the years that I've served and did good." And he said, "I wish that media would talk more about people who do good, because there's a lot of people who do good out there. Not just the women that you have here on stage, but there's so many people who give their time, even unrecognized, like Anne Sullivan, who was serving one person, Helen Keller, who made a significant impact in the world." And so my invitation to all of us, we're actually opening a nomination for a woman that you want recognized, and we're recognizing many of them. If you look at the special edition that Donna was holding up a while ago, Donna, it's in my back, and it was in Alicia's back a while ago. We on the if you open the centerfold of that, Donna's going to be our newspaper model. The centerfold is her story unfolding, and this is, all the women. Well, I wouldn't say all, many of the women who were not recognized in the past, who did some amazing work. And we want to do that again, but this time for women that's making a difference today. And so we'd love to have your nominations for women, to recognize them. We're coming together March 30 and 31st on an all-day broadcast right there. Her story unfolding. It's still unfolding. And we will spend a day recognizing women who do good. And so, I would love for you to share, and we'll put it on the comment section where you can make the nominations for outstanding, amazing women. So, ladies, while we're in the spirit of recognizing amazing women, the one other person who has made such a significant impact in my life, very late in my life, like just a few years ago, I was in a place where I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know, when you're in a place of transition where what I used to do wasn't fulfilling me anymore. I wasn't finding purpose in what I was doing there. I had a lot of barriers in what I was doing. I was in healthcare, and they were requiring that we keep taking boosters, and that we keep getting tested. And, I had a lot of barriers in my own personal, battle with health. And I was looking at, where am I being, at that time, I was given, it was through Clubhouse. It was through Clubhouse, and the scholarship was given to me to go to Money and You. And the initial questionnaire was like, for example, what do you want? And my answers were, I want to not be afraid anymore. I want to not be, it's everything that I don't want. And I have a friend who was going with me at that time, and she said, those are not wants. They're not wants. They're not wants, but sometimes we find ourselves in life where we don't exactly know what we want, but we know what we don't want. Like, we don't know where we're heading, where we're going, but we know where we don't want to be. And I was in those moments, and coming to Money and You and meeting the woman that we're going to be bringing up on stage right now changed my life. The principles in Money and You really gave me foundation to pursue courageously, believing in myself, trusting myself, and now being, in the Los Angeles Tribune. So bringing up on stage Dame Doria Cordova.
Yay!
Hey, I
Yay!
couldn't miss this party.
Woohoo!
Aloha, everyone. Woohoo. How are you?
Dame Doria is the secret behind many, 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 many innumerable, professional speakers, influencers, authors, billion-dollar businesses. I would invite you to check out Dame Doria, moneyandyou.com. The list of people that she has influenced, as hidden as she is. Dame Doria, you're like Anne Sullivan, who hides behind people's, but you're like that powerhouse that, really supported in the catapulting of people in the purpose that they were called to be. So Dame Doria, I would love to hear who has inspired you, and who stood as your inspiration as a young woman.
As a young woman. Okay, young woman would be a woman by the name of Sandra Ray, SON, Sandra Ray, sandraray.com. I met her when I was 27 years old, and she introduced me to clearing my deservability, which I now share in the magical exercises that you can find at fridayswithdoria.com. And she actually introduced me to prosperity consciousness, to international travel, to spas, to pretending as if though I were extremely wealthy by going to beautiful hotels and traveling as expensive as I could afford at the time, even though I was pretty successful, not at the level that I am now. But she also introduced me to India, spirituality, chanting, and going within. And it she just like transformed my life completely. And of course, every decade there's a different woman that has come in. And so Sandra Ray was a woman that literally, when I got to this deservability ceiling, which we all have about money and wealth, she literally shook me. She was we were doing a very conscious breathing exercise, which at the time was called rebirthing, and she literally picked me up. She's very tall, and she picked me up. I was very thin. She picked me up from my ankles and put me upside down. And she said, "This is a birth decision that you made, and clear me on my deservability." And within a year, I was. And she introduced me to Marshall Thurber and Bobby D. Porter, who were the people that created the paradigm, the new educational system for entrepreneurial, experiential, transformational training industry. And she was the one. I just want to tell you, I want to show you all this real quickly. See this? Look how fun this is. Isn't that fun? Those are actually business cards. And we got this in the mail, so we're going to be taking some pictures. And she's the one that taught me everywhere. This is before Money and You was created. And she's the one that taught me how to put affirmations everywhere. But remember, affirmations need to be clear. Affirmation by themselves don't work unless you clear the response that you have to those affirmations. So we didn't have Post-its then. So you used to put a little piece of paper with tape on it. This is 1977. And you would put this paper, "I now deserve love and all the wealth that I can manage." All these beautiful affirmations. And it was so interesting because I had all these Money and You things, and I always carried a lot of cash, but I started carrying more cash and really, really processing myself on cash. You have no idea how much stuff we have around cash because we picked it up from our parents, our grandparents, and in those days they did not have credit cards or Venmo or cryptocurrency. Cash still gives us such an amazing thing. So when I attracted the Business School for Entrepreneurs, and then they gave me a program called Money and You, none of my friends were surprised because I had been talking and talking now by this time 2.5 years about money, money, money. And then, of course, those of you that know me, you know that I'm about sufficiency. You know that I'm about creating a world that works for everyone. And I have very little hooks to money because of my life having been committed to healing the loss within me from all the loss that I've had this life. So I don't even connect to money the way most humans do, but I have a lot of fun with it. And that's and in Money and You, of course, we really move people from scarcity to sufficiency to abundance. And then you begin to find, cards like this that you can order online. And, and inside it has my information. I'm going on a cruise. So I'm going to take this, and I have my very refined Dame Commander of Grace, my whole, I am a knight, I am a dame, and that's going to be the serious one, but this is going to be the fun one. So you got to have fun around money, and that's what I learned from Sandra.
Thank you, Dame Doria. Dame Doria, how can people find you more? Do we have Fridays with Doria today? It's Friday.
Yes, today we have, but today, you must all come. Today at 5 p.m. we have Ho'oponopono. We have a Ho'oponopono prayer. And the next live program is going to be on the 22nd of March. You must come to that because that is called Marketing Magic. And I'm going to be bringing 3 people that will totally support you with that. So fridayswithdoria.com. But do go to moneyandyou.com and download the Business Success Model book, because that is a very simple little book to give you that business model for you to create that economic engine to put around your life purpose and create the level of wealth that you'll support. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. And I know I'm old enough to be, I'm 74 this year. So, and no surgery. And all my friends say, stop saying that in case you ever want to get surgery. But so I'm going to stop saying it. You may be one of the last people to hear it. But I absolutely just want you to get how beautiful you are, and you're sharing, all these women that that were your model. You were seeing aspects of yourselves in the future. Start recognizing yourself in the people that are your heroes and the people that we admire. It's because there are aspects of us, and bring that forward. And let's change the world, create a positive impact, and let's make the world work for 100% of humanity.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you. That was the perfect way to close us. Make the world work for 100% of humanity. And so, with that, ladies, thank you so much. To our audiences who's watching this in recording, who's joined us live, share with us who's a woman that inspired you, who made a difference in your life. And if you haven't had one yet, there's many of us, who are standing for women. I'm like, I found Dame Doria just 3 years ago. Like, it's never too late to find a mentor. And like what Dame Doria said, there's another mentor every decade of her life. So if you're finding that you're in the cap of where you are right now, or you're looking for something, there's someone for you who will be standing for you. We are all sisters, and we stand for each other. And with that, I would love to go around and just say, what's your word that you'd like to empower with? Let's start with Dagmar.
Truth. Be who you are, as you are, what you are, with no judgment, opinion, or bias.
So good. Sherry.
Just be in the present.
Thank you. Misty.
Passion.
So good. Sandy.
Consciousness. I always say there's two states of being: ego or consciousness.
Consciousness. Thank you. Parisa.
Permission. You have permission to do the thing, whatever the thing is. You don't need to wait for it or ask for it. You already have it. Permission.
So good. Lori.
Consistency. Being persistently consistent. So being consistent in everything that you do and being persistent in that.
Dame Doria was clapping to that. Donna.
I'm going to go with unapologetic.
Ooh.
Be unapologetic in everything you do.
Yep.
Dame Doria.
Glorious. Just get how glorious we are, especially in those moments when you're making yourself really wrong. Just pretend that you believe that you're glorious at that minute, and bring it in with gratitude and gloriousness.
Oh, we lost Ava without finding out what her word was.
Right? I know. She her internet went out too. It's been one of those days.
She would have said leadership, because that's her process right now. Hasn't she grown so beautifully, you guys?
Yes.
She has stepped. Let's have a love attack over her right now while she's not here. She's
amazing. Yes.
You know what I love? I love from like when we were all at remember the mastermind, Dame Doria? What was it? 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And she was helping out from then until now. It's just wonderful.
Yeah. So we love you. We love you. Just somebody, I guess, has to leave us. Well, otherwise, we're just going to hang out here and talk story. Oh, Donna's going to close it.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I do. And I do see Ava coming back on here. So we'll see if she can connect. And if not, then we will do in a closing here real fast. So we'll just give her another moment. So, you brought up a really interesting point, Dame Doria, about leadership, and that would probably be Ava's word. So for you, what does leadership really look like? How does that demonstrate from you to the rest of the world?
Well, leadership is such a tricky one. And you were talking earlier about being authentic. You really need to let people know the processes that you're going through and be very transparent with your team and the people that you work with. Because people always know the truth. We're like children. Remember, children always know what their parents are up to. It's the same thing with a leader. Your team, your suppliers, your customers, your clients, your associates, your affiliates, they know where you're at. So that's really important to be.
And there went Dame Doria there. So what an interesting
We're just dropping off like flies here.
part right there. So everybody
What's
that's been out
happening?
there watching,
They're quantum
thank you.
shifting into the next realm.
They're going into other dimensions or something. Who knows? So thank you everybody for watching here at the Los Angeles Tribune. Don't forget to comment, put in there who you would like to nominate or to have as a woman that has really impacted and inspired your life. And we are going to see you every day for the next 30 days. And until then, everyone, we'll see you tomorrow.
Welcome to a celebration at the precipice of time, where the power of women knows no bounds. Experience her story unfolding, a reawakening of our collective consciousness to the monumental achievements of our foremothers, a tribute to the battles they fought, rights they've secured, and paths they've paved that women all over the world are continuing to navigate and expand upon. Her stories are unfolding, empowering growing, building legacies of pioneering women by sharing their stories, celebrating their accomplishments, and embracing the rights and privileges they've bestowed to us for generations to come.
And with that, we just want to thank you for spending your noon with us. We will be coming back every day, March 1 to 31, from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. every day to honor a woman from history in the National Women's History Month. Till then, thank you for